Hey, it's Mike with TechBB. Let's do an Apex show. Now I'm going to start the show by saying I'm not going to try to give you any sort of data or accuracy testing or anything like that. Okay, the Apex barrel, we've shipped one of these to Punkworks. Bryce and Gordon have a Lapco, the 8-inch Lapco barrel that's autococker threaded, so they're going to take care of all the accuracy and the range testing and put all down on the spreadsheet so everybody can go and analyze it and tell them how much they did it wrong. For the purposes just of this video, I'm just going to talk about the Apex. I've been using it. You guys have been seeing it in a bunch of my videos on a bunch of my guns. I'm just going to tell you my personal opinion on it. I'll do kind of a little bit of a comparison and talk about it in relation to the Flatline, pros and cons and stuff like that. Everybody wants to say Flatline versus Apex, Apex versus Flatline, which is better, which is worse? Well, first off, if you don't own a Tippmann, that kind of throws the Flatline out the window. And I know there's going to be somebody's going to email me, oh, there was an autococker that was made, 10 years ago that has a Flatline on it. Yeah, I know, asshole. I own one of those, okay? If you guys, I'll put the video up really quick. I have an autococker with a Flatline on it. I'm very well aware that, there are modifications out there where you can take the Flatline barrel, put it on other guns. But for the most part, for the rest of us, if you don't own a Tippmann, kind of throws you out the window if you don't have, if you can't get a Flatline on your gun unless you own a Tippmann, okay? A5 has it, 98 has it, the X7 has it. But the rest of us, it doesn't come in autococker thread, it doesn't come in Smart Parts thread, it doesn't come in really any of the other threads that are out there, Spider thread or anything like that. The Apex barrel works, okay? It works very, very well in the woods, and as a matter of fact, right now the Apex barrels are selling for like $30 or $40 on eBay in ion threaded, which fits the Vibe, the SP1. You can also get it in Spider thread, autococker thread for like 30 or 40 bucks. It works very, very well. How does the Apex barrel work? It's a very simple design. Inside of here, okay, there's a rubber flap, okay, inside of here. And what happens is with the dialer, if you crank the dialer down, the rubber flap goes down, okay? So the rubber flap goes down. So as the balls come out, it hits the rubber flap and it causes a spin on the ball. It's very easy to curve it to the left, curve it to the right, curve it upside down even, which was actually very helpful when one of my friends was using my SP1. He was in a fort and there was a run up to the fort where it was kind of a hill. There was people laying down in the prone position in the hill. He scooted back, turned the Apex barrel upside down, and was dropping them right on top of the people that were laying just over the top of the hill. Took tons and tons of people out. People couldn't understand where the hell they were getting shot from. They thought their own teammates were shooting them because he was hitting them in the back. The Apex barrel works. It works very, very well. Now, some people have seen, there are some people out there that take the Apex tip and clamp it down onto their whatever barrel that they want. I know it works. I don't really recommend doing that. Okay, the Apex tip costs $40. The Apex tip and with the barrel costs $40. So there's no real reason to just go and buy an Apex tip and then do some sort of duct tape sponge mod or whatever the hell it is and get it to mount to your gun. You're not saving any money. Just get on eBay, get the correct one. Now, with the Apex barrels, there are not just BT is not the only company that is making the Apex barrel. There are two other companies that are making Apex tips. Their Lapco also makes an Apex barrel. Okay, they don't make the tip, but they make a barrel that's compatible to fit on the Apex front will bolt right to it. Lapco makes it. This right here is a Big Shot .690 Apex ready for the autococker. Let me see, I've got a gun around here. So you can take this, I got an alias here. Let's unscrew the alias barrel. And you can screw this right into it. And it's got a real nice, like a satin finish to it. And you screw it into your gun and there you go. Now I've got an alias with a Apex barrel on it that's going to just as well keep up with any A5 or 98 that's in the woods with a Flatline barrel. I'll tell you, while I'm unscrewing this, what's the biggest difference between if I have let's say a Tippmann A5 what's going to be the biggest difference between shooting the A5 with the flatline barrel versus the Apex barrel? Well, once the ball is in the air, the ball's not going to care, okay? It's a certain amount of backspin that you put on it. The biggest difference between the two is going to be with the flatline barrel, you can hold your gun like a rifle and aim it just like that. So it's going to come out of the gun straight, and your gun, you can basically shoulder it just like you would a rifle. The Apex barrel, because it's a rubber flap at the end, you actually have to tilt your gun up a little bit. So most of the time when the dialer is completely cranked down, you have your gun tilted up at an angle because the ball is going up, ricocheting off of the rubber flap and then coming out straight. So even though the gun is tilted up at an angle, and this is kind of nice because I've got a white wall, the ball is going to come out like that. Now if I dial the dialer down to where there's less and less spin, the ball is going to come out more and more straight. But if I dial it down to maximum amount, it's going to come out like that. So you have to tilt the gun up. So putting a red dot when you're using an Apex barrel isn't really going to help you very much, because as the ball comes out and hits the rubber flap, it kind of kicks it down at an angle. Now if you hold your gun perfectly flat like this on the maximum dial, the ball is going to come out like that. So the ball is going to almost hit the dirt right there in front of you. So you have to aim the gun up a little bit in order for the ball to come out straight. It's going to be the biggest difference between shooting an Apex barrel versus shooting a flatline barrel. The flatline barrel, because of how it's designed, you don't have to arc the gun up in order for it to come out straight. Let's talk about the other company that is making Apex barrel tips, and it's Smart Parts. Smart Parts has a all-American front in both 10-inch and 16-inch that fits the Apex tip. Okay, so basically, if you want to, what I did was I bought one of these, which was an ion threaded Apex tip. Took the top off and then put it on this one. I believe Smart Parts sells the Apex kit also. You just have to call them and find out. But you can now put this on any freak back. So if you just buy one, all-American Apex ready tip, you can put this on any freak back gun that you want. So that works out really, really well. This is what you've commonly seen on my SP1 when you see the Woods Ball videos of me out there playing. I usually will have this configuration. Well, this is the only configuration that I have. The biggest advantage to going with the Smart Parts barrel, one, is the massive amount of porting that you got on here. It really quiets down the shot when you're out there in the woods. Plus the freak, if you like the bore, you can put the freak insert in there and bore it to whatever you want. But this is the configuration that I currently use in the woods. It works very, very well. 16-inch front, freak back, Apex tip on an SP1 Blackheart, and this just works very, very well. Now something else let's talk about. Apex only comes with these stupid rubber, barrel plugs. Okay, well, these are illegal in most of the fields. No one wants these things anymore. So, I don't know. Maybe it's Simon again. You guys remember the mini video? Maybe this could be Simon's influence. I don't know, but this thing's worthless. You can't use it. About the only barrel sock that's out there that fits on an Apex is actually the Tippmann barrel socks that are meant for the flat lines. So if you get an Apex, you need to get back on the internet again and buy yourself a Tippmann barrel sock, and the Tippmann barrel sock fits the Apex tip. Most of the other barrel socks that are on the market right now will not fit the Apex barrel tip because of how thick it is. But the Tippmann barrel sock will fit it, because this is meant to go over the flatline barrels on the A5s with those big old shrouds, and it fits over the Apex tip perfectly. All I got to say about the Apex tip, the Apex barrel, is that it works. Okay, trust me, it works. Take it out into the woods, you will see that it works. The adjustability of it is awesome. You can, if you're out there and you're holding your gun a little bit inside because the tree's covering it, you can actually take the dialer. You can take the dialer and dial it a little bit to the right. If you're on your left hand and you're shooting like this, you can take the dialer and put it out there perfectly straight. Trust me, it works, and it works very, very well. Being able to adjust the amount of spin is a huge, huge asset when you're out there. With the flatline, whatever spin it comes out is whatever spin it comes out. You can't adjust that. With this, if you're shooting at 300 feet per second, you need a little less spin, click it back a couple times. If you are shooting at 260 feet per second, you need a little more spin, click it up a little bit. So you can actually, you know, play with those last 4 or 5 clicks and get the perfect amount of spin for whatever it is that you're using it for. I mean, they work very, very well, and right now they're on sale on eBay for 40 bucks. It's an absolute steal if you play hyperball, if you play woods ball. It works very, very well. Lapco makes a great barrel for it. Smart Parts makes an Apex ready tip for it, or you can just get the regular BT barrel tip for $40 on eBay right now. So that's about it. Check out the Punkworks section of TechPB. You know, probably here in the next couple months, you're going to see some real data from Bryce and Gordon on how well these things work and in terms of range and all these comparison tests, and they'll put it all nice down on a nice little grid and graph and stuff like that for you guys. But for me personally, I'm telling you, if you've got a couple dollars burning a hole in your pocket, you play a lot of woods or a lot of you know, hyperball, or maybe even a little bit of not necessarily speedball, but kind of when you're playing on those wide open courses where there's pallets everywhere and you need that extra range, go get yourself an Apex tip, man. I'm telling you, they work amazing. And for 40 bucks, that's an absolute steal. That's selling for about 1/3 of what they were when they first came out. So hopefully this helps. Go out and buy it. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for tuning in.